Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. How is everybody's pre-Friday going, also known as Thursday? Hopefully everyone's been having a great week. We are going to continue with our Let's Play of this game. I am trying to get to level 30, which currently is the max rank. And let's get started getting into some emails. I was going through these before I started recording, and I've got this one that's going to expire today, so we will have to same day parts, and I've got this one up here that's going to expire tomorrow, so we're definitely going to go for those. I try to do three builds or repairs or whatever an episode, so we'll probably do these two and that one. But let's get started with this one first. It says, "Hello. Can you build a PC for me? I really want the CPU to overclock to 4300 megahertz. I really want the GPU to be the fastest it can be. Let's aim for 141 megahertz. I need this pretty soon, today at the latest. I know used parts can be cheaper, but I'd like new ones, please. I'm a total NZXT fanboy." So let's make sure we put plenty of NZXT parts in this computer, but let's go ahead and accept that one. This next one here says, "You work with computers, right? Could you build me a new PC? I just want to play Sid Meier's Civilization 6 minimum spec. Don't try and pass off any used parts. I want all new stuff. My brother has Intel in his PC. He says they're the best." So he's just looking for a Sid Meier's Civilization 6 PC build. So let's accept that one. And then let's jump up here to this one. That needs to be done tomorrow, and we will just order all these parts at the same time. This email says, "You work with computers, right? Build me a PC. I need a new rig. I already ordered my copy of Sublevel Zero Redux, a recommended spec. Can't wait. I'd like it to be done by tomorrow. I like nice and shiny new components. I read that A-data parts are really good, so we will make sure we put plenty of A-data parts in this PC. So it needs to be done by tomorrow. Let's accept that one. Let's go back here. I'm going to step away, get a build put together, and be right back." Alright, so for the first build, for this overclocking build, we're going to go with the NZXT N7 Z370 board, an i5 8600K, a Kraken X72, 4 sticks of Corsair Dominator Platinum. It was 4 gig, 3200 megahertz. A MSI RX 580 Gaming X Plus, a Silverstone power supply, a Patriot Scorch M.2 512 gigs, and an NZXT H440 in white. So our next build here for Sid Meier's Civilization 6 minimum spec. Let's pull up Will It Run. So minimum spec. There it is, needs an i5 6400 and a GTX 960. So I'm going to step away and get this build put together and be right back. So again, here are the recommended specs for Sid Meier's Civilization 6. For this next build, we're going to do the EVGA Z270 for the win, an i5 7600K, a CryoRig R1 Universal, 4 sticks of G-Skill Trident Z, 8 gig 3200 MHz, an EVGA 1060, an EVGA 450 watt power supply, a 2 terabyte hard drive, an A-Data M.2 drive, I believe it was 240 gigs, and we're going to put that in a Cooler Master Master Case H500P. And then for this last build, we're going to get something put together for a Sublevel Zero Redux. So let's take a look at that. Let's see. Get down to the S's here. And what was it? Was it recommended? Yes, recommended spec. So here's the recommended spec. I'm going to step away and get this build put together and be right back. For this last build, again, here is what is needed. And here's what I'm going to put in here. We're going to do the Asus ROG Strix X470, a Ryzen 5 2600 EVGA 120mm water cooler, 1 stick of G-Skill Ripjaws 5 black 8 gig 3600 megahertz, an RX 580, 600 watt power supply. We're going to put it in the in-win A1 in black, and we're going to add a couple of fans to that because it comes with no fans. And for storage, we're going to do another one of these ADATA XPG 240 gig M.2 drives. So I'm going to do same day delivery. And we're going to get started putting all this stuff together. Let's get some cases up on the workbenches here. And the last one. Okay. So we'll start with this one. Get this case pulled apart. Get everything out of our way here. Okay. And since this one's getting a large water cooler, we're going to need to remove all of these, as well as these front fans. Get all this out of our way. Okay. Let's get our motherboard in. This is the NZXT N7 Z370 board. Let's get that open. Let's get our RAM clips open here. We'll get our CPU in, which is the 8600K, as well as our RAM, which was, I think it was this Corsair Dominator Platinum. 4 sticks. Didn't even open all the clips here. Okay, let's get our 4 sticks of RAM in. And one more. There we go. Get some thermal paste on here. And we can get our CPU cooler installed. Big ol' radiator there. Get these out of our way. And we can get our storage in. This was getting the Patriot Scorch drive. We'll get that put in. And then we can get our graphics card in. Let's see, which was the RX 580 Gaming X Plus. And lastly, we will get our power supply in here, which was the Silverstone. And unplug yourself there. Let's get the PSU mount back on. And then we can start cabling this up. Let's use sleeved white cables. Get everything cabled up here. Okay. So if I remember right, this was to be overclocked. Let's go get the sticky note for this one for Allison. So 4300 megahertz. Which should, everything should be automatically done because everything is already clocked higher than that. Oh, we've got to put the front panel back on. I was wondering why it wouldn't start up. I forgot this particular case needs the front. Still no, what? Oh. The wire. Now it'll power up. Let's get our USB drive in. power cycle this real quick. Hop into the BIOS. Our CPU shouldn't need to be overclocked. Let's turn our XMP on though. That all looks good. Let's get this side of the case put on. And we'll get this side panel put on. And we should be done with this one. So let's put this one out here and be done with it. So let's start working on this one next. Get these side panels off. And that beauty panel out of the way. I think that's all we got to get out of our way to get started here. Let's get our motherboard in. It's the EVGA Z270 for the win. Let our auto standoff tool put those in and we'll get this screwed down. This is getting 4 sticks of RAM as well, so let's get all those open. Let's get our CPU, which is the 7600K. Get that installed. We'll get our 4 sticks of Trident Z RAM. Not that one. That one. I gotta get rid of some of this RAM. I've got to scroll way down to the bottom. I need to do some builds. And one more. There we go. Okay, so next, let's get some storage in here. This one's getting a 2 terabyte hard drive. Oh yeah, you've got to pull, oh, not that, that one off. Now we can get our 2 terabyte hard drive in. No, don't close, there we go. Let's go ahead and put our power supply in while we're at it, which is the EVGA 450 watt. Let's get some of those out of our way. Or do we want to install it there in the upright position? We might want to do that. Let's put these PCI covers back on. Let's take these off. Let's get some thermal paste though while we're at it. Let's get our cooler installed, which is this CryoRig R1 Universal, which hopefully will fit because it looks huge. Is it doing that weird thing where it goes inside the RAM? Yep. Sure is. Alright, well. Looks weird, but I'm assuming it'll work. Let's get our ADATA drive installed here, our M.2. We get our graphics card, which is the EVGA 1060 for the win. There we go. Okay, let's put some of these PC parts, or the PC case parts, back in here. We can. PSU shroud. I think that's good. Let's get this cabled up though. What do we want to do for cables? How would yellow look? Yellow's not bad. Let's wire it up with yellow. See what we think when it's all done. I don't hate that. Let's power it on. Oops, I didn't get into the BIOS quick enough. That's all right. Let's throw a USB in here. Power cycle it. Now I'll hop into the BIOS. Let's turn our XMP on. That was booting from the right. Yes. We'll let the OS install here. Let's grab, I think this one was the Magical Lorraine. Maybe we should turn those yellow. Let's see what we can do with colors here real quick. We'll install this lighting app. See if we can get some color matching going on with the yellow. Because all of these are not yellow. What would it be if that was 255? There we go. Okay. Let's finish putting this case together. And we should be good to put this one out in the hall. Let's get the beauty panel on here. And the side panel. We get this side panel. All right. Very nice. So let's get this one out in the hallway. And finally, our last little mini ITX build here. Let's get this case pulled apart. Actually, let's grab our sticky note. Get this stuff out of our way. Okay. Let's get our motherboard in first, which is the Asus ROG Mini ITX board. Let's go ahead and get our storage in here as well, which is this ADATA. Not sure how all that fit, but it did nonetheless. Whoops. Let's get our CPU, which is the Ryzen 5 2600. As well as our RAM, which is this G-Skill Ripjaws 5. See, now we can get some case fans in. I think all of these are going to go on the bottom. If I remember right, you can only put 2 extra fans on this motherboard. Or else I would put a third fan in here. Let's close that little tray. Let's get some thermal paste. And let's get our cooler installed, which is the EVGA CLC120. It's saying it won't fit. Never actually tried this EVGA cooler, but it sure doesn't look like it's going to fit. Do I happen to have one of the M22s? I do not. Alright, so we're going to have to rethink this a little bit because of the budget here. So, because we're doing the Kraken, which costs more than the EVGA, we're going to have to step down to a different M.2 drive, which costs less. And then we're probably going to have to pull a fan out of there as well to meet that $1,500 budget. So let's see what we can do here. Let's pull this out. We'll use that in another build. Let's get this slower drive in. Let's pull a fan. Get our Kraken. This definitely fits. I don't understand why the EVGA one doesn't fit. Maybe it's thicker or something. So we've still got to meet a $1,500 budget here. So let's get their power supply in. Let's get the graphics card in, which is the RX 580. Let's see here. Let's get this cabled up, and we will see if this is going to work for us. Let's just do some loose black cabling. Oops. Let's get a USB in there. And let's power this on. We'll hop into the BIOS real quick. We'll turn XMP on. I think we did it. We've got $5 left over, which isn't even enough to put another fan in. But that's all right. Let's get the side panel put on here. Let's get this PCI lock installed. And we'll get this side panel on. And we are good to go. Let's get this one out in the hallway. And we can collect some money. Get that out of the way there. So let's collect that one. And that one. And we'll hop up here and collect that one. Okay. Got some new parts. Excellent. So I'm going to end the episode here. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode.